Welcome to the Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. As I continue to prepare the worktop ready for the main pour, I've been thinking more and more about the pattern and the textures used in the main design, and thank you for your comments on the last video about the last designs I did. I liked it, they look pretty stylish and quite striking, but they don't look like granite, and I think trying to make it look like granite is taking my thought process away from the amazing things you can do with resin. And I think instead of trying to make a faux granite or a faux marble, I'm just gonna not go for faux anything. I'm just going to go for resin and make a pattern which you can really only get in resin. You can only form that design through this product, and I think that's the best way to use it, really, as opposed to try to pretend it's something else. So I'm going to work on a few more designs and try to come up with some way of using this that is neither granite nor cosmic, but maybe somewhere in the middle-ish. It's all gone off. It's rock hard. I've marked it there. It has got quite a few marks and stuff. There's a few bits where it kind of, for some reason, didn't take. There could have been a bit of grease on there, possibly, which does react with the resin. That's why it's kind of advisable never to touch this without gloves, which, well, you know me. But yeah, so after doing these two coats on that one, though, on these bits here, which I'll come on to in a bit, I'm not so concerned really about the absolute finish of this, because it's all got to be sanded back anyway, so it should be all right. But I'm going to get this out of the way and do some more test pieces and pour up some more resin. This is one of the two pieces I made the other day, and I'm now sanding it back to do some testing on this piece in terms of the surface finish. I've also got some tests a bit later on the other piece. I appreciate this comment might make a few of you chuckle, but when I first got into woodworking, I considered like 180 grit to be pretty fine. This stuff is 2000 grit. I didn't even know that it went up to 2000 grit. I thought that's like air. I'm attempting to kind of test to see what the different surfaces can be like. This is gloss, so that was the way that the resin kind of finished. That's had nothing on it. This has now been sanded back, as I said, to 2000 grit. I'm going to do the same with this one here, and then I'm going to put on some finishing compound onto this one and kind of make it a bit more, kind of bring it up to a satin finish, I guess. I mean, that feels quite nice, but you can see an awful lot of scuffs and marks in that. It's also taken away the nice patterns in the black, so I'll see what happens when I put the finishing compound on. Because this is resin, it's good to wear a respirator. Well, it's good if you don't put the strap in the mask. Right, so I'll do the same thing. Oh no, 1500. Yeah, 1500. I'm not sure what's the best motion to do it in. Obviously, if I was doing it with like a Merkur sander, that's orbital, which is what all the pros use, is Merkur sanders. But well, that's just making a whole load of swirls. Bloody hell, that's killing. This one here now needs polishing compound putting on it, so those two are essentially the same. They do feel nice. That's got a little bit more friction to it. That glides much nicer. Let's put on the polishing compound. This is just, to be honest, I haven't got a clue what it is. It's G10 finishing compound. I have not seen this used on any other resin videos. They use things like N3 Nano or various different compounds. I haven't seen this. I bought it from a car shop. And a lot of these finishing compounds, the good ones, are 2-part systems. And obviously this is not, this is 1 part. That looks scratched to shit now. That looks dreadful at the moment from here. That looks absolutely dreadful in the light. You can see the difference, the satin to the gloss. But when you look down, I mean, I'm not happy with that finish or surface at all. You can see all the sandpaper marks and everything. To be honest, the actual matte one is better than the satin. And from above, you know, it's made that quite nice. That's okay, you can, but it's lost a lot of the pattern in the resin, and you can still see a lot of marks. That really does, I mean, that really does mark easily, like ridiculously easily. Wow, okay. Whereas that doesn't mark at all. Okay, it does scratch slightly, but that probably buffs out. Right, kettle's boiling next door. Right, kettle's boiled. I've come into Slow Patrol to make another cup of tea and paint another 11 fluid ounce storage device. But whilst I'm here, I can test to see how the hot kettle reacts with the cold, hard resin surface. I want to see if it leaves a mark, really, at worst. We got matte, we got satin, and we've got gloss. For me, it's quite a straightforward answer for what I'm going to go with. The bit I liked the most about the resin pour was the detail in the black, which is what I want the vast majority of it to be like. And even if it's not that, like that, it's still got this speckle to it, which I absolutely love. And both of them pretty much disappear in the satin finish and in the matte finish. The satin finish seems to mark quite easily. The matte finish marks extremely easily, whereas the gloss finish marks less. So for me, I'm going for gloss. Another thing I wanted to test is kind of how slippery the gloss surface is. So if you were to put something down on it, you don't want it just sliding all the way, you know, because of no friction. But no, that feels really normal. You'd have to like prod it to move that along. It has left some mark there, definitely. But is that just some kind of dusty thing? Here, there we go, look. That just brushes off as if it were never there. The signs are good. Now I'm erring away from having a granite effect. I'm going to play around with some of the base coats and do different textures. What's that? Glitter. Whoa, okay, that's quite a lot. This one here, I'm going to add some silver glitter. Even though this shimmer powder does have a shimmer to it, just get pencil for that one, pencil for that one.
Is that a Slow Patrol mug?
No, it's 11 fluid ounce storage beaker, just in Slow Patrol colours.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm not allowed to call it a mug. Okay, yeah, that's looking a lot more glittery, that one.
That looks pretty cool.
Black glitter's looking not very glittery at all in comparison.
So is this where the magic happens?
This is the magic. That's just clear, isn't it? So let's, what should I do? I was going to put a bit more shimmer powder in that one and make it darker. So I'll do that quickly. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to put on the base mix into the middle of all of them. Start to get it down. Now I'm going to go in with some of the darker resin, which is just the base coat plus a little bit of extra shimmer. Get all that around it.
Yeah, you can see the difference in that.
Yeah. I'm just going to do black glitter on this one here.
Okay.
So I'm going to pour all that in as well. Whoa, and a cup. Right, that's all gone. This one here is the silver glitter.
All right,
So I'm going to put this one on this one here.
So we want to see the result between the two.
Yeah, look at that. That is cool.
Wow, that.
Yeah, I'm liking that one.
Well, I am too.
Okay. So that is the bulk of the resin on these ones down.
So all of those track lines are going to just disappear because it's self-leveling.
Correct. If you put enough on. But you can also help them around by, well, it depends what pattern you want, but you can kind of help move it around just by disturbing the resin and mottling it. Which will also help get rid of those lines.
Look at that. That's already almost self-leveled.
Yeah.
So these ones are going to be the pattern effects.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put pattern effects on all of them. But these ones here are going to be without additional glitter. These are just the two different types of base coat. Yeah, so let's use the hairdryer and start to move the resin about. You'll see inside it starts to disturb the resin all the way through it. And creates, you know, its own pattern and texture within the resin. You see, doing this though adds in extra air bubbles. Why? Which is why it's really important to use the blowtorch. Some of them will level off soon.
So you found that dabbing works better than sort of brush strokes?
Yeah, because I think it will, whatever you do basically does come out in the resin. So on my piece, what I'm hoping not to, what I don't want is for it to come off through the edge. I'm going to want in the middle. So the way I've been thinking about doing it is do it a bit like this. And go back to one fixed point.
And that is the stone.
No, this is gold, I think. This is copper, or bronze this is.
Wow.
Let's see what happens if I just like blow it from above and see what the wind does.
Cosmic splat. Oh, nice technique. Oh.
Well, it's kind of worked.
Oh, I really want to play as well.
You can. I like the metallic kind of swirling you can make in it. Well, it's dreadful. I don't really know what I'm doing. But that's the kind of the cool thing. You can then just like if it did look shit like that, which it does, you can then just get some more resin and then
finger painting.
put your hands in there and change it all. Now look at that though, they are starting to look pretty cool. I'm going to leave it alone now, I'm done.
Oh, yeah, I think there's, oh wow. There's like blues coming through in this one. I don't know if it's a light, but that really looks. And this one as well. I mean, it just...
Yeah.
Right, is this where we got to walk away?
Yeah, we're going to cover up and walk away.
Right, so what we're doing now?
Just getting the air bubbles out with the blowtorch. But it also does move the resin around a little bit. You don't want to do too much in case you accelerate the cure.
It's all right, we're qualified in putting fires out.
That's fine, it's just one of those things.
As well as starting them.
Maybe 3 or 4 hours we'll come back and they should be pretty much set. Wow, I haven't seen that boat before. 2 boats in one. I've just moored up here in Dudswell, and to the side of me seems to be some kind of classic car show. So I'll go over and check that out. It looks like a couple old fire engines over there. Nice, I can see an old Porsche 911 in yellow. Now it's Slow Patrol's turn to go through the Tring Summit down to Dudswell to join Serium. You know what I'm thinking to myself as I'm cruising Slow Patrol through the Tring Summit on this glorious Saturday morning is, whilst I'm doing this, you could be clicking on the QR code on screen right now or in the link in the description of the video and buying a raffle ticket to win a weekend for yourself on this very boat. And in the next couple of weeks you could be doing exactly what I'm doing, driving Slow Patrol on a glorious, glorious Saturday morning. Really is the best. Best of luck. Right, Slow Patrol's down here now. Rob's about to set up the barbecue. The classic cars have gone, but now the live music has started. And from what we've heard so far, it's damn good. So I don't know if it's going to be lasting all night or not, but we're single file now, so Slow Patrol is behind Serium. Right, I'm putting this to the test. I'm back on Slow Patrol boiling some potatoes. I'm going to need that in a minute. Right, now it's time to put the hot potatoes onto the resin and see what it does. Right, I've drained the potatoes, put it back on there. It's been a good few minutes though. Let's see what's done. Okay, it's left a mark. That's warm to the touch, as you'd expect it to be. And that stuff there looks like it's just going to rub off. Need to go at it a bit more. I'm starting to see potentially some rings, or is that wet? No, I'm starting to see. I'm going to polish that up a bit and see. Don't know if it's coming out on camera, but I can make out some circles there. I'm really trying to get this to pick out on camera. I don't think it's going to. But right there and right there, I can see two. I don't think they're dents, although I can see something there. I've polished it up. As I said, on camera you can't see it, but when you get in certain lights you really can. It deflects the light. So in a reflection, the reflection's got dinks in it basically because of those lines. So obviously don't put anything hot on there. I'm pretty sure none of you guys would be so foolish as to cut a spring onion up on your own worktop, but for the sake of this, that's exactly what I'm going to do. This knife is not particularly sharp, and I'm going through with reasonable force, not mega, but yeah, I can see from here it's making a lot of cuts in the surface of the resin. So there's a lesson there. You can feel all that. See if that's not going to buff out with polishing compound, but I'd be interested to see if it's kind of hacked up a bit more maybe, as to whether I could pour in a bit of resin and fix that. There you go, you can see those cuts quite visibly there. This is great sitting here listening to live music, it really is. Oh, that's not a mug. Now, having kids around as well, anything can really drop on my worktop. So one thing I want to see is kind of how it would react to something sharp or heavy being dropped on it. And Arthur is quite often walking around with a chisel and a hammer. So let's see what damage he could do. Let's drop the chisel first. I think that's just spring onion. I am so sorry to those of you that like this piece. I had people contact me wishing to buy it from me, so I'm really sorry for ruining it by dropping chisels and hammers and cutting up spring onions on it. But the spring onions have been put to good use. I've made a potato salad here for our towpath barbecue. And here's another shameless plug. If you would like to join us for a towpath barbecue, then win yourself a weekend on board Slow Patrol. The raffle ends tomorrow or today, depending when you're watching this. And you could spend a weekend on board Slow Patrol just like this.